of grass was an unfamiliar figure. The man had skin that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight, his body surrounded by a faint, ethereal glow. His fiery, waist-length hair spilled across the grass like embers, contrasting starkly against the white, translucent robe that draped his form. He looked as if he'd fallen from the heavens themselves. Aiden's pulse quickened. Who? Aiden leaned on the stone railing of his balcony, eyes tracing the familiar paths of the palace gardens below. His own reflection in the window, a young man with short, dark hair and an expression edged in weariness, seemed to echo his thoughts. Royal life had given him everything but the one thing he truly yearned for: companionship, someone who could see beyond his title and truly understand him. The stars sparkled brightly overhead, like whispers of secrets just beyond reach. With a sigh, he made his way down to the garden, letting the stillness and sweet fragrance of flowers soothe his mind. As he strolled through the moonlit paths, Aiden's gaze was suddenly drawn to a glow near the wildflower patch. There, lying on a bed of grass, was an unfamiliar figure. The man had skin that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight, his body surrounded by a faint, ethereal glow. His fiery, waist-length hair spilled across the grass like embers, contrasting starkly against the white, translucent robe that draped his form. He looked as if he'd fallen from the heavens themselves. Aiden's pulse quickened. Who? Or what is this? Unable to resist, he approached quietly, his footsteps soft against the dewy grass. He knelt beside the figure, studying the delicate glow that surrounded him, the way his hair cascaded across the ground like a flowing river of flames. Are you all right?" Aiden murmured, his voice barely more than a whisper, not wanting to disturb the stillness. The man's eyes fluttered open, revealing depths like the night sky. He looked up at Aiden, seemingly disoriented, then smiled faintly, his voice as soft as a breeze. I am Orion, a star who wished to see your world." Aiden's heart thudded. He didn't know whether to feel awe or disbelief. "A star?" he echoed, almost to himself, struggling to believe the man's words, yet unable to deny the otherworldly radiance before him. "But why? Why would you come here?" Orion's gaze softened. "Stars live forever in the sky, always watching, but never touching. I wanted to know life beyond the heavens. Perhaps it was fate that brought me here to you." Aiden was silent, feeling something in Orion's words reach deep into his soul. "Then, you might understand how it feels to be alone in the middle of everything." He looked down, speaking almost to himself. "I may be a prince, but the weight of this life can be crushing." Orion reached out a hand, resting it gently on Aiden's arm. "Perhaps our paths were meant to cross, so neither of us would feel that loneliness tonight." Aiden felt a warmth he hadn't known he needed. He met Orion's gaze, feeling an inexplicable sense of connection. "Then, stay," he whispered, finding courage in the other's kindness. "Let's explore this world together. Perhaps we'll both find what we've been searching for." Orion's smile grew, his eyes brightening like the stars above. "Lead the way, Aiden." As they rose together under the starlit sky, Aiden felt that for the first time he wasn't alone. In the days that followed, Aiden found his thoughts consumed by Orion. As the prince wandered the palace grounds, or strolled through the bustling village with Orion at his side, he felt as though he was seeing the world with new eyes. Each moment they shared held a glimmer of wonder, a touch of magic he hadn't known existed. One evening, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon, they settled in a secluded part of the palace gardens, surrounded by tall oaks and gentle breezes. Aidan turned to Orion, catching the soft glow of starlight that seemed to radiate from him in the dimming light. "Orion," he began, "you said you came to understand human emotions. But why would a star want to understand something so imperfect?" Orion looked up, his fiery hair catching the last traces of daylight as he pondered the question. "In the sky, we're beyond all the struggles you humans face, but also beyond the beauty. Up there, we are only witnesses. I would watch people laugh, cry, love, and mourn from afar. All these things, these imperfect yet vibrant feelings, are what give your lives meaning." He paused, his gaze softening. "I grew tired of simply watching." Aidan felt a pang of understanding, an unspoken connection between their yearnings. "I know what it's like to feel like an outsider, even when you're surrounded by people," he admitted quietly. "I may be a prince, but it can be isolating." Orion reached for his hand, and Aidan allowed it, feeling an unexpected comfort in the warmth of Orion's touch. "It's strange," Orion said softly. "I came here to understand, but I feel as if I understand more by being here with you." Aidan managed a small smile. "I feel the same. Since you've arrived, it's as if everything I took for granted, the sunsets, the stars, even my own heart, has become something new, something to treasure." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the stars that Orion had once called home begin to twinkle in the darkening sky. Aidan looked at Orion, whose face was lit with a serene glow, his features softened by an expression that was both curious and wise. "Orion," Aidan asked hesitantly, "do you ever miss the sky?" Orion's gaze drifted to the stars above, a wistful smile on his lips. "In a way, I do. But there's so much here I'd never known, so much beauty in the way humans find meaning even in the smallest moments." He turned back to Aidan, his eyes bright with a quiet conviction. "I think, for now, my place is here." Aidan felt his heart tighten, warmth blossoming in his chest. "Then I hope you stay as long as you wish." Aidan followed Orion's lead, his heart racing as they wound through the dim, forested paths. The night air was cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and faint traces of jasmine. Shadows flickered as moonlight broke through the canopy above, casting a silver glow that made their journey feel almost dreamlike. Aidan's fingers still tingled from the warmth of Orion's touch, a sensation he clung to with equal parts excitement and uncertainty. This moment, this place, felt timeless. When they arrived at the glen, Aidan was awestruck. The hidden meadow was bathed in soft moonlight, every blade of grass and wildflower shimmering under the stars. The glen was alive in a way he'd never experienced, a sanctuary suspended between his world and the heavens. In the center lay a small, clear pool that mirrored the sky above, so perfectly that it looked as if the stars had descended to meet the earth. The wildflowers around the pool glowed with a faint, ethereal light, painting the scene in shades of silver and blue. Orion gestured to the heart of the glen, his eyes twinkling. "This is where I come when I need to remember who I am," he said softly, his gaze tracing the constellations mirrored in the pool's still surface. "The boundary between our worlds is thinner here, like a secret where the stars touch the earth." Aidan felt an ache in his chest at the sight, at the magic Orion seemed to see so effortlessly. "It's beautiful," he murmured, almost afraid to break the spell of the moment. "I've lived near this forest my entire life, and yet I never knew such a place existed." "Beauty has a way of hiding until the right eyes come to find it," Orion replied, his gaze shifting to Aidan with an intensity that sent warmth through him. They moved to a soft patch of grass beside the pool, where the flowers grew thick and lush. Aiden sat down, looking up at the vast sky that felt somehow nearer here. The stars sparkled overhead, so close he imagined he could reach out and touch them. There was something infinite and comforting about their light, something that made him feel seen. "What do you find most intriguing about our world?" Aiden asked, turning to Orion, who lay beside him, his fiery hair spilling out like a cascade of starlight across